In this video, we're going to talk about absolute advantage. We're going to have two producers and two goods. Our first producer is Arthur. And our goods are bike repairs and web page updates. Arthur can do a bike repair in 5 minutes. And a web page update in 20 minutes. Now our other producer is DW. DW can do a bike repair in 30 minutes. And a web page update in 30 minutes. So, what we want to do is translate this into some unit of time. When we talk about labor productivity, we're usually talking about per hour. How much can a worker produce per hour? Now, of course, we could do it per year, per month, per week, per day, but per hour is common, so that's what we'll use. So let's draw a production possibilities curve for both Arthur and DW. This one will be for Arthur. And we'll put bikes up here and web pages here. So let's talk about bikes. Arthur can do a bike repair in 5 minutes. So how many can he do per hour if he does nothing but bike repairs? Well, 5 minutes. There are 12 5-minute periods in an hour, right? 60 divided by 5. So there's the point on the production possibilities curve if he does nothing but bike repairs. How many web page updates can he do? Well, he can do one in 20 minutes, so that would be 3 per hour. Now we're going to simplify this and assume a linear relationship, meaning just a straight line. Of course, we could make it complicated and have a curved production possibilities curve, but if we have the choice between a model that is complicated, that we can use to explain a concept, or a simple model that we can use to explain a concept, we're going to go with the simple one. Okay? So there's our production possibilities for Arthur. Well, how about DW? Whoops. Well, DW can produce a bike repair in 30 minutes. Got bikes on this axis again, just like with Arthur. Well, if she can do one in 30 minutes, that means she can do 2 in an hour. And the same with web page production. She can do 2 per hour. Again, we'll assume a linear relationship. There we are. There's DW's production possibilities curve. So who has the absolute advantage in bike repair? Well, we better define what absolute advantage is. Absolute advantage, there's 2 ways to look at it. Okay. For a given level of inputs, you get the greatest output. Okay, that's one way of looking at absolute advantage. Let's look at it that way. Okay, the input, what is the input here for both DW and Arthur? It's 1 hour of labor. So in that hour of labor, who can produce the most bike repairs? Well, we've got Arthur here produces 12, DW produces 2. So it looks like Arthur has the absolute advantage in bike repair. How about web page production? Well, we have Arthur who can produce 3 and DW who can produce 2 per hour. So for a given level of input, the greatest output, again, goes to Arthur. Arthur has the absolute advantage in both bikes and web page production. Now, another way to look at absolute advantage is for a given level of output, you can produce with the fewest inputs. This is the flip side of the same coin. I hope you can see this intuitively. If you can produce more per hour than someone else, then it stands to reason that if you produce the same quantity, you're going to be able to do it with fewer inputs. So if Arthur and DW are both producing, let's say, 2 bike repairs, Arthur's going to be able to do it in less time than DW. For any given level of output, he can do it in less time or with fewer inputs. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about comparative advantage. Now, before we do that, you might think that Arthur, because he has the absolute advantage, that he will not be interested in trading with DW. I mean, Arthur's the best. He's the best producer. He can produce bikes better. He can produce web pages better. Will he be interested in trading with DW? I'll give you a preview, and the answer is yes, because trade decisions are not based on absolute value. They're based on comparative, I'm thinking of math. They're based on absolute advantage. They're based on comparative advantage, the subject of the next segment.